Starting off our list, number 10 is Heath Ledger. In 2008, the world suddenly had to mourn the loss of the talented young actor who passed away tragically at the age of 28. News articles broke saying that he was found by his masseuse and housekeeper on the floor of his rented apartment in Soho, New York. It was said that emergency crews arrived not long after his body was first found, and they tried to revive him but were unsuccessful. The media started speculating on the cause of his passing, with claims that it may have been an overdose. It wasn't until 2 weeks later that the New York City Medical Examiner's Office released the results of toxicology tests that were performed on his body. The report stated that he passed of an accidental abuse of prescription medications. His family ended up taking his body back to their native Australia, and he was buried next to his grandparents in his hometown, Perth. Taking over the number 9 spot is Mac Miller. It was back in 2018 when the world first heard the horrible news that the rapper had passed away at 26 years old. His passing was ruled as an accidental substance overdose, but there was still a lot of speculation surrounding the situation. A toxicology report released a statement that said he passed due to an accidental overdose of 2 different substances and alcohol. In 2019, 3 men were charged in connection to his passing. One man for allegedly selling counterfeit OxyContin pills that were laced with a stronger substance. Another man for allegedly sourcing the pills that were sold to him, and the details of the third man's relation to the case has not been revealed. It wasn't until later this year that a trial date was officially set for November 16, 2021. The defendants are fighting that they allegedly continued to sell the narcotics after his passing with full knowledge of the risk of their products. Coming into number 8 is Brittany Murphy. She had a huge breakthrough in her career with her role in Clueless, and then continued to win over the hearts in other movies like Uptown Girls, 8 Mile, and Girl Interrupted. Fans were both shocked and saddened to hear the news back in 2009 that the bubbly actress was found deceased in her Los Angeles home. It was at 8 a.m. on December 20th, 2009 that the LA Fire Department responded to a medical request after it was reported that she apparently collapsed in her bathroom. Reports say that firefighters tried to resuscitate her on the scene and that she had to be transported to the hospital when they were unable to do so. Once she was at the hospital, she officially passed away at 10:04 a.m. after going into cardiac arrest at just 32 years old. A few months later, rumors began to spread saying that she had overdosed after the coroner released a report saying that she had been taking a variety of over-the-counter and prescription medications. However, all the substances were legal and her passing was ruled to be an accident. Sliding into number 7 is Cameron Boyce. He first became a child star when playing Luke Ross on the Disney Channel TV series Jessie. From there, he went on to star in movies like Grown Ups and Descendants. Fans were devastated back in 2019 when his family released a statement online saying that the 20-year-old had passed away in his home in Los Angeles due to a seizure, which was the result of an ongoing medical condition. They revealed he had recently been diagnosed with epilepsy and said that he was being treated for it. The tragic news came on July 19th, and his Descendants movie was set to premiere on July 22nd. Disney decided to cancel the red carpet premiere event and honor him in a different way. With permission from his family, Disney Channel announced that they will dedicate the telecast of Descendants 3 in his memory. They also made a donation in his name to the Thirst Project, which is a non-profit that Cameron was heavily involved in that provides communities with safe drinking water. Up next, number 6, we have Selena. Just a few months ago, Netflix released the second part of the biographical series explaining her life and her tragic passing. The series is called Selena, the Series, and focuses on her legacy, music, and controversy surrounding her life being taken. She was just 23 years old when it was revealed that she had been fatally struck by a bullet in a motel room in Texas back in 1995. There was a big scandal at the time, which led to a woman named Yolanda Saldivar pulling the trigger on Selena. Yolanda was the president of Selena's fan club and manager of her Selena's Inc. boutiques in Texas, and was caught embezzling money from Selena's empire. Reports say Yolanda lured Selena to the motel by promising to finally turn over relevant financial documents. But things got heated and an argument broke out, and when Selena saw that she had a weapon in her purse, she tried to flee from the room. It was then that Yolanda pulled the trigger and struck her in the back. The Netflix series apparently reveals footage from this night. Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Corey Monteith. The young actor was at the height of his career, taking on the lead role in the successful TV series Glee. He was also known for being Lea Michele's boyfriend, who met each other on the set of Glee in 2008 and became love interests on the show and in real life. They were actually together when he sadly passed away on July 13th, 2013 at just 31 years old. Reports released details saying he was found in his room at the Fairmont Hotel in Vancouver. He was scheduled to check out that day, but when he didn't, hotel staff entered his room and discovered his body. His autopsy was later released and it stated that he passed away from a mix of illegal substances and alcohol, but that it appeared to be accidental. After his passing, the production team postponed Glee's 5th season and continued it just months later. On October 10th, 2013, the show aired an episode as a tribute to Corey, which focused on the passing of his character in the show. That way they could continue to talk about his memory in future episodes and seasons. At number 4, we have River Phoenix, the older brother of the successful actor Joaquin Phoenix. River's acting career started when he was just 10 years old when he began working in television commercials. His acting career included 24 films and television appearances, which led to the teen idol status, and he rose to fame. He wasn't just into acting though, he was also known for his singing and guitar skills. In 1988, he got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor in Supporting Role for his role in Running on Empty. The following year, he got a role as young Indiana Jones in Steven Spielberg's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. His career was at its peak as he continued to book one role after another. Unfortunately, in October 1993, River collapsed outside of an LA nightclub in front of his brothers, Rain and Joaquin. They rushed him to the hospital where doctors announced that he had officially passed away at just 23 years old. The New York Times shared the report that the coroner found a fatal amount of illegal substances in his system. In the 3rd spot is Aaliyah. She was known for being a triple threat, being successful at singing, acting, and modeling. People were shocked to hear the news that she had passed away in a tragic airplane accident on August 25th, 2001. She was just 22 years old at the time and had been in the Bahamas filming a music video for the single Rock the Boat. She was on the plane with 7 other passengers and the pilot, all of whom passed away in this accident. They all boarded a small plane that was set to return back to Florida, but the aircraft was said to be smaller than the original aircraft that was meant to fly them. Reports say one pilot was warning them there was too much weight for a safe flight since they brought a bunch of filming equipment with them as well. It was later revealed it was actually 700 pounds overweight and the pilot was actually not qualified to fly that aircraft. The aircraft took off and only 200 meters away from the runway. After just a few seconds, it crashed. Her autopsy later revealed that she passed away from severe burns and a fatal blow to the head. Next up at number 2 is Avicii. The DJ was an award-winning musician at the height of his career when he passed away at the age of 28 years old. The horrific news was announced on April 20th, 2018 and revealed that he had taken his own life. The official cause was reported to be blood loss from self-inflicted wounds. Although he had reached insane amounts of fame, success, and wealth, behind the scenes he was struggling with anxiety, depression, and an alcohol addiction. After the news broke, his family confirmed the news that he had in fact taken his own life and shared that he was battling his addiction for years, which is why he quit touring in 2016. In the documentary Avicii: True Stories, it showed that his addiction had put him in the hospital while he was in Australia on tour. In the documentary, Avicii spoke about it and said he was given medication for pancreatitis and started taking 20 pills a day and got addicted to them. Reports say that he was actually working on new music at the time of his passing. Last but not least, at number 1, we have Amy Winehouse. It was in July of 2011 that the news broke that the singer had passed away at 27 years old. She was known for her unique voice and the soul and jazz in her music, which stood out against the usual pop music that we hear all the time. She had been very candid about her struggle with substance abuse and alcohol addiction, releasing the hit song Rehab in 2006, which has lived on as one of the most iconic songs to this day. But her addiction is what eventually led to her passing. It was said that at the time she was sober from substances, but that she turned to alcohol more instead because of it. Her body was found in the afternoon that day in her London home. Reports say that she was found by paramedics fully clothed with a laptop on her bed and empty bottles of vodka on the floor. The coroner revealed that she had a fatal amount of alcohol in her blood, that it shut down her respiratory system, and her passing was deemed to be alcohol poisoning. Dr. Shirley Radcliffe said that she voluntarily consumed the alcohol, which was a deliberate act that just took an unexpected turn.
And at number 10, Meatloaf. One of the recent celebrity deaths that we've experienced this year shook a lot of rock fans. Legendary rocker and actor Meatloaf sadly passed away this year on January 21st at the age of 74. Sources said that the rocker passed away surrounded by family and friends, including his wife Deborah and daughters Pearl and Amanda. Meatloaf's career spanned over 6 decades and included the release of hit music and movies like Fight Club, Focus, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Wayne's World, personal favorite of mine. His 1977 album Bat Out of Hell still remains one of the top 10 selling albums of all time. Over the course of his career, Meatloaf sold over 100 million albums worldwide and starred in over 65 movies. When news of his passing broke, Meatloaf's agent released a statement to the public saying, quote, "Our hearts are broken to announce that the incomparable Meatloaf passed away tonight, surrounded by his wife, daughters, and close friends. We know how much he meant to so many of you, and we truly appreciate all of the love and support as we move through this time of grief and losing such an inspiring artist and a beautiful man. We thank you for understanding of our need of privacy at this time. From his heart to your souls, don't ever stop rocking." In at number 9, Louis Anderson. Also on the 21st, comedian Louis Anderson passed away at the age of 68. His death came shortly after it was announced to the public that Louis had been admitted to the hospital to undergo treatment for diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, an aggressive type of blood cancer. Louis had quite a successful career in comedy, being first catapulted to fame in 1984 when he made his first TV appearance as a stand-up comedian on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Many may know Louis from starring in films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Coming to America, and for his work in television, having been part of the animated show Life with Louis as the host of Family Feud, and for his Emmy award-winning performance in Baskets. Before we go on to the next, make sure to give this video a like. In at number 8, Manfred Terry Mugler. Sadly, on January 23rd at the age of 73, legendary fashion designer Terry Mugler passed away. He rose to fame in the 1980s while working on his fashion collection for men, and later went on to become internationally adored by men and women for his unique looks. Mugler retired in the early 2000s, however he came back to dress Kim Kardashian for the Met Gala in 2019. That year the theme was camp, and Kim said she did not think any other designer would do it justice. He was known for show-stopping looks he created for the likes of Madonna, Lady Gaga, and Cardi B. His passing was announced on his Instagram. His account posted a black square with a caption announcing the news. The caption read in part, quote, "May his soul rest in peace." It did not give any details on the cause of his death. Kim Kardashian posted a touching tribute on her Instagram, writing, quote, "Manfred Terry Mugler, my heart breaks. There's no one like you. Your vision, your transformations, your magic. I am so honored to have known you, spend time with you, and be a muse for you." In at number 7, Andre Leon Talley. Andre Leon Talley passed away on January 19th, 2022. He was known as a larger-than-life personality in the fashion industry, breaking the glass ceiling as he was a black man in a predominantly white industry. He was 73 at the time of his death, and he passed away in White Plains, New York. His death was in a hospital after a series of health struggles confirmed by his friend Darren Walker, the president of the Ford Foundation. A statement read, quote, "Andre Leon Talley was a singular force in an industry that he had to fight to be recognized in." Mr. Walker also called him a creative genius, and noting his ability to shape a persona for himself out of a deep academic understanding of fashion and design. His passing was confirmed on his Instagram page, and at the time no cause of death was given. However, later when Vogue posted their obituary, they revealed the cause of death was a heart attack. In at number 6, Bob Saget. The world was heartbroken on January 10th when it was revealed that Bob Saget had passed away at the age of 65. The comedian, best known for the role of Danny Tanner, was currently on a comedy tour at the time of his death. In a statement, his family said, quote, "We are devastated to confirm that our beloved Bob Saget passed away today. He was everything to us, and we want you to know how much he loved his fans, performing live and bringing people from all walks of life together with laughter." Saget was found dead in his hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, Grand Lakes, according to a statement from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. There was no indication of foul play or substance use. He was in Florida for a comedy tour taking place across the country. Days later, TMZ reported that the medical examination is leaning towards a heart attack or a stroke as a cause of his death, but we will have to wait 10 to 12 weeks for it to be officially confirmed. Halfway number 5, Sidney Poitier. Legendary actor Sidney Poitier passed away on January 6th of 2022 at the age of 94 years old. He passed in his home in Beverly Hills, LA. Poitier was known for his groundbreaking achievement of being the first black man to win an Oscar for Best Actor in 1964. He won the Oscar for his role in the 1963 movie Lilies of the Field. Throughout his career, Poitier received 2 more Oscar nominations, 10 Golden Globe nominations, 2 Emmy nominations, 6 BAFTA nominations, and 1 SAG nomination. Before his death, he was the oldest surviving male Academy Award winner. Poitier's cause of death was a combination of heart failure, Alzheimer's disease, and prostate cancer, according to a death certificate obtained by TMZ. His family revealed that he'd been struggling for a long time, and they're happy that he is now at peace. In at number 4, Jordan Kashmir. The 16 and pregnant star passed away on January 16th at the age of 26. Jordan, her boyfriend Derek Taylor, and their daughter Evie appeared on MTV's 16 and Pregnant back in 2014. The young parents' heartbreaking story played out on the show as they were homeless while Jordan was preparing to give birth. Her mother revealed the news in a statement she wrote to Facebook. Quote, "Last night I received a call that no parent ever wants. My oldest beloved daughter, Jordan, has passed away. She was only 26 years old. Our hearts are truly broken." Kashmir had struggled with addictions in the past, but prior to her passing, it was believed that she was sober, as she had celebrated her year of sobriety in January of 2021. As of now, her cause of death has not been revealed, and it's not clear if her family knows the cause of death or not. In at number 3, Adalia Rose Williams. YouTuber Adalia Rose Williams sadly passed away at the age of 15 on January 14th of 2022. As a baby, Williams was diagnosed with Hutchinson-Gilford Progeria syndrome, a rare and fatal genetic condition that rapidly increases the appearance of aging. But that did not stop her from doing what she loved, sharing her life with her millions of fans on YouTube. Her passing was announced on her Instagram page. The caption read, quote, "Adalia Rose Williams was set free from this world. She came into it quietly and left quietly, but her life was far from it. She touched millions of people and left the biggest imprint in everyone that she knew. She's no longer in pain and is now dancing away to all the music that she loves." Williams had almost 3 million subscribers on YouTube, posting makeup tutorials, dancing videos, and videos showcasing her apartment. Her first video was made 9 years ago, and she'd been gaining a following ever since. Williams lived a full life, considering the average age span of someone with her disease is 13 years. In at number 2, Gaspard Ulliel. The French actor died tragically in a skiing incident on January 19th. He was just 37 years old at the time of his death. The model and actor was rushed to hospital in a serious condition after the skiing incident, but sadly he was not able to recover from his injuries. Ulliel collided with another skier at a resort in the French Alps, officials say. He was then transported to a hospital where he died from his injuries. The other skier was not hospitalized. He is best known for playing a young Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal Rising, along with playing Yves Saint Laurent in the 2007 biopic about the fashion icon. He had just filmed Marvel's upcoming Moon Knight series, which he will still appear in. And finally, number 1, Betty White. Now, she didn't technically die in 2022, but it was the last day of 2021, and her passing shook so many people, so I thought she deserved to be on this list. On December 31st of 2021, iconic Hollywood actress Betty White passed away in her sleep at the age of 99, just a few weeks before her 100th birthday. Betty was a familiar face on many shows like The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Golden Girls, and I Love Lucy. Her career spanned many decades and she was successful in everything that she was a part of. Other than her work in the entertainment industry, Betty was also known for her charity work with animals, having been an activist for many years. Though she sadly passed away just shortly before her centennial birthday, Betty's family said in a statement that they don't think she was worried about dying because she longed to be reunited with her husband once again. In their statement they said, quote, "I don't think Betty ever feared passing because she always wanted to be with her most beloved husband, Alan Ludden. She believed she would be with him again."
At number 10, we have Robbie Coltrane. When Robbie Coltrane passed away on October 14th, even Harry Potter fans across the world were shocked to learn that their favorite Harry Potter character was gone. Shortly after Robbie's passing made headlines, former co-stars would even come out to mourn the loss of the late actor. Daniel Radcliffe, best known for his roles in Harry Potter as Harry, would come out to say that Ronnie was one of the funniest people and he used to keep them all laughing constantly as kids on the set. Ahead of his passing, Robbie even gushed about his involvement in the Harry Potter franchise in honor of its 20th anniversary. Robbie went on to say that, "I think it's just an end of an era. It's 10 years of my life. My children have grown up during this. The legacy of the movies is that my children's generation will show them to their children. So you can be watching them in 50 years time, easily. I'll not be here, but Hackford will, yes." Robbie's character will forever live on through Harry Potter and he will never be forgotten. At number 9, we have Jason David Frank. Jason David Frank was an actor best known for his role of one of the original Power Rangers. When Jason passed away on November 19th, fans would mourn the loss by rewatching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series to see their favorite star. Jason was a fan favorite and he was even brought back as the reformed and new leader of the team as the White Ranger. Jason's performance was so strong he even got to reprise his role in several adaptations of the Power Rangers. After his passing, his co-star Emmanuel Jones would even write on his Instagram that he couldn't believe it was true. Jason's character wasn't intended to be permanent, as he was introduced as the first enemy of the Power Rangers and then would go on to do a full 180 to become good after his powers started to deteriorate. His on-screen abilities translated into the real world and he will be survived by his 4 children. Hey Peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Angela Lansbury. Angela Lansbury was an iconic stage, voice, and screen actress that passed away on October 11th at the age of 96. Angela's roles were so iconic that she even won an Oscar for her first major role in the film Gaslight, and was even nominated for the same award a year later for her role in the picture Dorian Gray. Angela was best known for her role in the CBS series Murder, She Wrote, as well as voicing Miss Potts in the Disney 1991 animated film Beauty and the Beast. Her role in Beauty and the Beast was so iconic, who can forget when she sang the Oscar-nominated song Be Our Guest. Angela made us all feel welcomed with her roles, and it was definitely sad to hear about her passing. At number 7, we have Leslie Jordan. At the age of 67, Leslie Jordan passed away on October 24th. Leslie would pass away after he had a suspected medical emergency after driving to a film scene for Fox's Call Me Kat. Leslie was a beloved actor and comedian who brought joy to many of us all over the world, and I absolutely refuse to live in a world without him. In addition to winning an Emmy for his iconic role as Beverly Leslie on the NBC sitcom Will and Grace from 2001 to 2020, Leslie also appeared in the Best Picture nominated 2011 drama The Help and on 3 separate seasons of FX's long-running series American Horror Story. The world has definitely become a much darker place that's filled without love and light of Leslie. Not only was he such a talented person, but he also brought joy to all of his co-stars and fans across the nation. Leslie's agent even said that what he lacked in height, he even made up for in generosity and greatness as a son, brother, artist, comedian, partner, and a human being. At number 6, we have Freddie Roman. At the age of 85, Freddie Roman would pass away on November 26, best known for his stand-up comedian roles. Many don't know that Freddie got his start for his role in the Crystal Spring Hotel in Catskills, owned by his uncle and grandfather. After a run as a teenage comedian, Freddie went into shoe business. However, he would shortly realize that it was never for him and that his dream was to be a comedian because it was the only thing that ever made him feel happy. Freddie's love for comedy helped him find his sense of purpose. Once Freddie realized he wanted to be a comedian, he even started to headline a number of venues for Caesar's Palace in Harrah's. Freddie would also become the dean of Friars Club Rose. In addition to his stand-up career, he also made several appearances in film and television, including his roles in Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and Red Oaks. At number 5, we have Irene Cara. On November 26, at the age of 63, Irina Cara would pass away. The Oscar-winning singer was best known for performing theme songs to the legendary 1980s film Fame and Flashdance. Irene was born and raised in New York and started to perform as a child before becoming an overnight sensation in the 1980s High School Musical Fame. By 1981, Irene would even go on to receive 2 Grammy nominations for Best New Artist and Best Pop Vocal Performance for singing its titled track. In 1981, Irene would even lend her voice to another soundtrack for the film Flashdance. What a feeling. The song was even certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America and won Best Original Song and Best Female Pop Performance at the 56 Academy Awards in 1984. Irene was extremely talented, and in addition to winning 2 awards at the Academy Awards, she also would take home a Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Performance that same year. Irene would then go on to continue to perform both on screen and off and on stage. And in 2011, she released her final album, Irene Cara Presents Hot Caramel, and it was definitely as hot as caramel. At number 4, we have Mickey Coon. Mickey Coon was the last surviving credited cast member of Gone with the Wind. Sadly, the actor passed away on November 20th at the age of 90. Mickey's acting career was at its height when he appeared in the film A Streetcar Named Desire and Red River. By 1951, Mickey would leave the entertainment industry, but not before giving us one final credit after he made multiple appearances in episodes of Alfred Hitchcock's Presents. When Mickey finally put his acting behind him, he decided to enlist in the United States Navy and spent 4 years as an aircraft electrician. Following his departure from Hollywood, he also spent time working for American Airlines at the Boston airport. Later in his life, Mickey would even frequently visit festivals, conventions, to congregate and greet fans of Gone with the Wind. It's no lie that Mickey had an impressive career. He will definitely never be forgotten. At number 3, we have James Winburn. James Winburn was a stunt double for Michael Myers' character in the original 1978 film Halloween, which is iconically the best film in the movie franchise. However, in November 19th, James sadly passed away due to undisclosed illness. While Nick Castle famously donned the slasher mask in the first film, James was the legendary stuntman that assisted in some of the most intense scenes, which included him falling off a balcony. James worked as a stuntman for over 70 films, which included Escape from New York, Night Stalker, and Glory. He also starred in shows and movies such as Charlie Chan in The Curse of the Dragon Queen, Hunter, and Island of Witches. On top of his stuntman and acting career, he also directed 3 features: Evil Altar, The Merchant, and Miami Beach Cops. However, if it wasn't for his part in Halloween, the film wouldn't be what it is today, and we definitely have to thank him for all the hard work and heart he put into any work he was given. And number 2, we have Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy was one of the most beloved actors to ever bring Batman to life. However, on November 10th, the beloved actor would pass away and the world would begin to mourn his passing. After a long battle with cancer, Kevin would pass away at the age of 66. Kevin studied under John Houseman at Juilliard and would later become the voice actor that was instrumental to helping repopularize Batman for younger audiences. Kevin played the Caped Crusader in Batman the Animated Series, which ran on Fox Kids from 1992 to 1996. Following his turn on the show, Kevin also was the voice in Batman movies and in 15 separate TV series and 24 video game projects. Kevin also appeared on camera as the live-action Bruce Wayne and even got a chance to portray the character on the 2019 crossover event Crisis on Infinite Earths. At number 1, we have Aaron Carter. Musician and former child star Aaron Carter passed away on November 5th at the age of 34. The singer and rapper rose to fame after he opened up for his older brothers Nick Carter's band, the Backstreet Boys, while they were on tour. Later, Aaron would go on to release his debut album. However, less than a year later, his popularity would surge after his second album release, Aaron's Party, Come and Get It, which included such hits as I Want Candy and Bounce. In 2001, Aaron would then make an acting debut when he performed I Want Candy on Disney Channel series Lizzie McGuire. He even went on that same year to star in some Broadway musicals. Aaron would then go on to have an extended break from music until 2017, when he then released his final album, Love. During his career, he also appeared on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, all that, and his family's reality TV show, House of Carters. He would also get a chance to appear on Dancing with the Stars in 2009, where he ended up placing 5th. Aaron will now be survived by his son Prince, and will live on in our memories as our favorite teenage heartthrob.
At number 10, Sebastian Athey. No matter where you are in the world, Disney makes an impact. Latin American Disney Channel actor Sebastian Athey was a star in a completely different part of the world than my own, and yet we all feel the sadness that came after his sudden passing last summer. Known for his role as soccer player Lorenzo Guerra on the Argentinian Disney show Once, Sebastian was well loved and a talented guy. Other than being a famed actor, he was also into the music scene. He was a singer releasing music as recently as 2019. He released his most recent song Freaking Out in July of 2019, and before that he released a song through Disney Channel called Play with the Heart. But before he got his big break on the Disney Channel, he got his start on a popular telenovela called La Rosa de Guadalupe, having appeared on 2 episodes between 2014 and 2015 as 2 different characters. He lived a good life, finding a lot of success until his tragic passing on July 4th, 2020, after suffering from a heart attack at the age of 24. He will be dearly missed. At number 9, Don Rickles. Toy Story fans were devastated to hear of the passing of Don Rickles back in 2017. Don had a long and successful career as a comedian, but I think what most people remember him for is his role as the voice of Mr. Potato Head in the Toy Story films. He had voiced the character since the very beginning and was part of 3 Toy Story films before his passing at the age of 90. Don was set to take up his famous role in the newest installment of the Toy Story series, but sadly he passed away before the script was finished. When the studio was ready to begin production on Toy Story 4, they actually asked Don's family if they would be willing to give them permission to use old recordings of Don's voice to bring Mr. Potato Head to life one last time, to which they agreed, saying, quote, "He always said, keep my name alive, let them know who I am, so he would be thrilled by all of this, definitely," end quote. Toy Story 4 came out with Don's voice playing his beloved character and helping to keep his legacy alive. I don't know about you guys, but there's no one else that I could see playing this part, so I'm glad they were able to do this. Thanks for being part of our childhoods, Don. Now before I carry on with the video, please consider leaving a like to help out the channel, and also check out my channel Viper Girl for some gaming content as well. At number 8, Nikita Pro Waligua. Actress Nikita Pearl-Waligwa, known for her role as Gloria in the Disney movie Queen of Katwe, sadly passed away in February 2020 at the age of 15. Nikita had been on a long journey battling a brain tumor from 2016 and again in 2019 after another tumor was discovered. Queen of Katwe's director Mira Nar actually helped to organize funds for Nikita's treatment during filming, showing how much the cast and crew cared for her. She played a role in a powerful film with powerful women, and she will always be remembered for that. She fought bravely through it all, and that will be something people remember. At number 7, Stan Lee. Stan Lee was a comic book writer, editor, actor, and producer known for his creation and involvement in many iconic Marvel characters. He was always a storyteller, as he enjoyed writing since he was a kid. He credited the books and movies from his childhood for his great success later in life. In 1939, Lee began working for a comic book publisher, which eventually evolved into the coveted Marvel Comics by the 1960s. What made Stan's character so unique was how his comic book heroes had more realistic and flawed qualities in comparison to rival DC Comics. Their success skyrocketed, and the Marvel empire grew into what we know it as today. Other than creating these characters, Lee also starred alongside them for many years, as he held cameos in many of the Disney movies. And since Disney owns Marvel, this makes Stan an honorary Disney star. For fans of the MCU, Stan's appearance was one Easter egg that we all looked forward to finding. Stan Lee lived an incredibly long and successful life until his death on November 12, 2018 at the age of 95. At number 6, Jason Davis. If you're familiar with the Disney Channel show Recess from the late 90s/early 2000s, then you would obviously remember the character Mikey Blumberg. He was basically the nicest kid on the playground, a lovable guy with a knack for poetry and a good heart, always being the first to forgive people. Mikey was voiced by actor Jason Davis for the duration of the show's series, as well as its spin-off movies. Sadly, Jason passed away February 16, 2020 at the age of 35 due to effects caused by fentanyl usage. Other than appearing on the Disney Channel, Jason also had roles in Rush Hour, Beverly Hills Ninja, and Mafia. During his life, Jason founded and dedicated himself to an organization called Cure Addiction Now. His organization's goal was to help fund research for those suffering from substance abuse and addiction, and he dedicated the year and a half before his passing to growing this organization. Before his passing, he was also working on a new show called The Two Jasons. He brought many characters to life and dedicated his time towards helping others, achieving so many wonderful things in his life. At number 5, Carrie Fisher. The world was shocked by actress Carrie Fisher's tragic passing. Having been beloved by so many, her passing affected so many people. Carrie passed away on December 27, 2016 at the age of 60 after having suffered a heart attack. Carrie was no doubt known for her role in the Star Wars franchise, playing Princess Leia. Since Disney bought Star Wars, this technically made her a Disney princess, which just made her that much cooler. Carrie began her Star Wars career at the age of 19, and it stuck with her for her whole life. When approached about the idea of portraying Leia again in 2015's The Force Awakens, she said, quote, "I knew that something enormous was likely going to impact my life in this film, and that there was absolutely no way of understanding what that was or likely be. This was her defining role, and there was no way that it would let her go." She brought Leia's bad character to life even after her passing, as the studio was able to bring her back to life on the big screen one last time in The Rise of Skywalker, which was released 3 years after her death. Though she had her struggles in life, which she opened up about, she was still an icon and is still dearly missed. At number 4, Chadwick Boseman. Marvel's Black Panther movie is one of their most successful films. I remember when it was first released and there were so many people going to see it, and so many people from the Black community saying how they felt empowered and represented by this film. It was a big deal and made Black Panther a fan favorite. Chadwick Boseman, the actor who brought King T'Challa to life, also became an icon, so when the news of his passing broke last year, fans were devastated. Chadwick passed away on August 28, 2020 at the age of 43 after a long and difficult battle with stage 4 colon cancer. Other than being cast in the MCU, Chadwick also played some big roles such as Jackie Robinson in 42, as well as James Brown in Get On Up. His family released a statement announcing his passing, saying how hard he fought until the end. Fans found out that Chadwick was receiving treatment for his condition at the same time that he was filming Black Panther, showing us how strong he really was. Chadwick really was a king on and off screen, and it's hard to imagine the MCU without him. At number 3, Robin Williams. Actor and comedian Robin Williams put a smile on everyone's face. He had the ability to captivate an audience so easily and always left an impression on every single one of his fans. Though he had a long and successful career, he also spent some time working with Disney, portraying a number of characters. He worked on projects like Popeye, Good Morning Vietnam, Good Will Hunting, Back to Neverland, Flubber, and more. His most notable Disney production, however, was Aladdin. Robin voiced the genie, bringing that magical blue goof to life in the most entertaining way. The genie was always meant to be played by Robin, as the character was even written with him in mind, and he brought the character to life in both the original Aladdin and the sequel, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Sadly, Robin passed away on August 11, 2014 after he took his own life. Though it was originally reported that he suffered from depression, his wife later clarified that he was really suffering from a condition called DLB, saying that Robin's depression was one of many symptoms of DLB. Robin played a big part in many of our childhoods, as he starred in so many films that we watched as kids, and we thank him for that. At number 2, Lee Thompson Young. Though you may not recognize the name, you will surely recognize his face. If you grew up watching the Disney Channel in the late 90s and 2000s, then you might be familiar with Lee Thompson Young. Lee got his breakout role in the Disney Channel series The Famous Jet Jackson, where he played the famous action TV star Jet Jackson. This role was the first major role he got, and it set him up to have a successful career with Disney. After his time filming Jet Jackson as well as its spin-off films, Lee then went on to star in the hit Disney Channel movie Johnny Tsunami and the subsequent film Johnny Kabahala Back on Board. After leaving Disney, he went on to star in different shows like Smallville, where he played Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, and in Rizzoli and Isles, where he played Detective Barry Frost. His role on Rizzoli and Isles was the last role that Lee had before his passing in 2013, where he took his own life. Lee had reportedly been struggling with his mental health, and so when he passed away, his family set up a foundation in his name called the Lee Thompson Young Foundation, with the goal of removing the stigma around mental illness. If you're ever struggling with your mental health, please reach out to someone or call a local crisis hotline. You are not alone. And finally, number 1, Cameron Boyce. One of the biggest and most tragic deaths that Disney has faced recently was the passing of actor Cameron Boyce back in 2019. Cameron passed away on July 6, 2019 at the age of 20. His passing came just shortly before the premiere of his film Descendants 3, where he played Carlos, the son of Disney villain Cruella de Vil. Before this film, Cameron had starred in other Disney productions like Jessie and had guest roles on Good Luck Charlie and Shake It Off. Cameron was a Disney fan favorite, but he was so much more than that outside of the world of film and television. He was also a philanthropist. In 2017, Cameron helped raise over $27,000 for the Thirst Project. He aided in an effort to end homelessness. He worked closely with an organization that helped raise awareness and fight against on college campuses. He worked with an organization to help kids with sickle cell disease, and his final humanitarian effort was to partner with an organization to help fight against gun violence. Because helping others was something that Cameron loved, his family set up an organization in his name after his passing to, quote, provide young people artistic and creative outlets as alternatives to violence and negativity, and provide resources to make a positive change in the world. Cameron did a lot of good in his life and continues to be someone for people to look up to.
Starting off the countdown at number 10 is Dustin Diamond. Fans were recently devastated when they found out one of their favorite Saved by the Bell characters had passed away. The actor was best known for playing Samuel Powers on the show, also known as Screech. He suddenly passed away on February 1st, 2021 after a short battle with cancer. He was only 44 years old. His rep confirmed the actor's diagnosis with People magazine a month before and said that he had started chemotherapy for stage 4 cancer. He was diagnosed with small cell carcinoma, hope I said that right, which is a cancer that commonly occurs in the lungs but can also grow in the prostate or gastrointestinal tract. His battle with cancer only lasted a few weeks because it spread so rapidly and viciously. Sadly, his rep confirmed that he had passed away but said that he did not suffer due to how quickly everything had happened. Fans are still very much in shock about this. Up next, number 9, we have Cicely Tyson. The Tony Award and Emmy-winning actress passed away on January 28th at the age of 96. She was in the entertainment industry for many years, ever since she made her debut in the 1956 movie Caribe Gold. She was famously known for her choice of roles, always portraying resilient and uplifting Black women. She earned awards for her starring roles in film and television over the years, even earning herself an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in the autobiography biography of Miss Jane Pittman. In 2018, she actually became the first Black woman to receive an honorary Oscar, and then 2 years later, she was selected for the Peabody Career Achievement Award for her work on the stage, in film, and in television. Her memoir called Just As I Am was actually released just 2 days before her death. No cause of death has been stated at the time of this recording. Sliding into the number 8 spot is Soo Yoo-jung. The South Korean actress passed away on January 23rd at the young age of 26. Her passing was announced by Subline Artist Agency on Instagram on January 24th, but her cause of death was not released. The agency did not immediately respond for media's request to comment either, so there still remains a lot of mystery around what really happened to her. Rumors have been flooding the internet with people alleging that she may have committed suicide, but again, that has not been confirmed. She rose to fame for her roles in TV shows like Make-A-Wish, School 2017, and Golden Rainbow. Outside of her acting career, she was also a model and an advocate for people with disabilities. Her fans are still very distraught by the news and are hoping that they get some answers soon on what really happened to her. Coming into number 7, we have Deezer D. The actor, who is best known for his role on the drama series ER, passed away on January 7th at just 55 years old. Fans loved him for his role as Nurse Malik McGrath on the medical series and were shocked to hear about his unexpected passing. His brother, Emery Thompson, actually announced his passing on his Instagram account. Reports say that Deezer was found unresponsive at his Los Angeles home on the morning of January 7th. According to TMZ, an official cause of death has not been determined. However, another brother of his actually leaked some information to a media outlet and said that they suspect he had a heart attack, but again, this has not been confirmed. Moving on to number 6, we have John Reilly. The actor lived a long, successful life, but sadly passed away at the age of 84 on January 10th. He rose to fame for his role on General Hospital and Beverly Hills 90210. His daughter, Caitlin Reilly, announced the news of her father's death on her Instagram, but his cause of death was not disclosed. Her tribute to him was very emotional and sweet, and she did reveal that she made it home in time to say goodbye and hold him, so we know that it wasn't totally sudden or unexpected in a sense. The actor was originally from Chicago and started acting in the 1960s with guest starring roles on Death Valley Days, Apple's Ways, and Gunsmoke. In 1984, his career moved forward and he starred in 6 episodes of Dallas, and then from there, he went on to portray Sean Donnelly on General Hospital for 11 years. Talk about a very successful role. Halfway through our list, at number 5, we have Ed Bruce. People refer to him as a country icon, and fans were devastated to read that he had passed on January 8th at the age of 81. He had many hit songs over the course of his decades-long career, like the all-time classic, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. He actually wrote the song with his then-wife, Patsy Bruce, and people quickly fell in love with it. In 1982, he released the single You're the Best Break This Old Heart Ever Had, featuring Lynn Anderson, which charted for 21 weeks and landed at number 1. That same year, he also co-starred in the TV series Brett Maverick. From there, he actually went on to appear in other fan favorite shows, so although his music career was a success, he also had a career in film. But his music is what people really know him by. He earned himself 35 Billboard spots, including 6 top 10 hits. In spot number 4, we have Peter Mark Richmond, another successful actor that had a very long and successful career. The news was announced that the actor died on January 14th at the age of 93, and the cause of death was stated as natural causes. Reports say he died of natural causes at his home in Woodland Hills, California. His rep confirmed this with People magazine. The actor has more than 130 television credits to his name, including his recurring role as Reverend Snow on Three's Company. After the news broke that he passed, his Three's Company co-star, Suzanne Summers, posted a statement and said, "Comedy is musical. Peter Mark Richmond and I understood the music from the very first time we appeared together on Three's Company. He knew his stuff. We lost a good one. Rest in peace, Peter Mark Richmond." Taking over the number 3 spot is Marion Ramsey. The Broadway and Police Academy actress passed away on January 7th at the age of 73. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she passed away at her home in Los Angeles. Her agency rep, Roger Paul Inc., released a statement and said, "The dimming of her light is already felt by those who know her well." She's best known for her performance as Officer Laverne Hooks in the Police Academy film franchise, beginning with the 1984 original and then several role reprisals. She was also known for being a longtime advocate for HIV and AIDS awareness and was very much loved for that. Outside of the film industry and advocacy, she was also known for her Broadway performances in shows like Hello Dolly and Little Shop of Horrors. Rolling into the number 2 spot is Harry Brandt. He was a socialite known for his own career, but also for being the son of supermodel Stephanie Seymour and magazine publisher Peter Brandt. His death was a very shocking tragedy for everyone, as he passed away on January 17th at the very young age of 24. His family revealed the news to New York Times and said the cause of death was an accidental overdose. The statement said, "We will forever be saddened that his life was cut short by this devastating disease. He achieved a lot in his 24 years, but we will never get the chance to see how much more Harry could have done." The disease that they are referring to is his addiction that reports say he was struggling with for many years. For anyone who may not know who he was an online influencer but also a model appearing in Italian Vogue campaigns. When he was a teenager, he also wrote for Interview magazine, which his father owned. And last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, we have Larry King. The news was shocking to everyone when the world found out that he had passed away on January 23rd at the age of 87. The beloved journalist and radio host passed away in Los Angeles just weeks after he was hospitalized with COVID-19 on January 2nd. He was in the industry for 63 years and succeeded across multiple platforms of radio, television, and digital media. He was known to the world as Larry King, but he was actually born as Harvey Zeger in 1993 in Brooklyn, New York. He changed his birth name in the late 1950s as he started his broadcasting career in Miami. In 1985, he launched his legendary cable TV show, Larry King Live, which became one of CNN's biggest programs. He earned a ton of awards throughout his career, including 2 Peabody Awards and inductions into the National Radio Hall of Fame and Broadcasters Hall of Fame. On top of that, he also is the author of several books. Very successful, to say the least, and very much missed.
At number 10, we have Aaron Carter. After Aaron Carter's passing, TMZ has reported that Aaron didn't leave behind a will, and now the state of California will have to decide on who will inherit Aaron's estate. According to sources, Aaron was advised to make a will by his attorney, especially because he has a child who depends on him. However, Aaron never got around to it. Now, Aaron's son Prince will not be left behind without anything, as California law states that when someone passes and leaves behind a child, that child will inherit the parent's estate. However, Aaron not being in a good place financially and his house being on the market, his son will have security in any equity the sale brings in, but it may be a while before the courts make their final decision and before the property actually sells. At number 9, we have Jimi Hendrix. Now, Jimi Hendrix passed away unexpectedly in September of 1970. Without having a will to his estate, it still remains contested in various legal battles. Despite Jimi fathering 2 children, Jimmy's father, Al Hendrix, legally denied the children any benefit from the estate and became the sole heir. In 2002, after Al's passing, he would leave behind the entire estate to his stepdaughter, Janie Hendrix. And he would leave out Jimmy's brother, Leon Hendrix, completely. Leon would go on to say that the reason he was left out of the inheritance was because of Janie's influence over his father, and she had him rewrite the will to leave him out. Leon would then go on to contest the will, however, the courts would deny his claims, and now more than 5 decades later, Jimmy's passing and the legal battle over his estate still continues, and his estate is now worth more than $175 million. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Bob Marley. When Bob Marley passed away in 1981, he famously refused not to write a will because it went against his beliefs. Under Jamaican law, when someone passes away, 10% of their assets go to the widow immediately, and the widow would then gain access to an additional 45% over their lifetime. The remaining amount is then divided equally among the children. At the time of Bob's passing, he was married to Rita Marley, and he had 11 children with several different women, and his estate was worth $11.5 million. Although the distribution of Bob's fortune should have been straightforward, some family members deemed Jamaica's laws unfair. Today, after decades of legal battles disputing how to divide the estate, 4 of his children now manage Bob Marley's estate as it continues to earn money through various Marley-themed products. In 2020 alone, Bob Marley's name earned about $14 million. At number 7, we have have Pablo Picasso. When Pablo Picasso passed away in 1973 at the age of 91, he left behind about 45,000 pieces of art and no will. At the time of his passing, Picasso had 4 children with 3 women, so it took 6 years just to divide his assets equally, especially when it came to continuous negotiations between his kids, wives, and mistresses. Dividing his estate would become messy, complicated, and frankly, it was pretty much a disaster. A court-appointed auditor in charge of evaluating all of Picasso's assets would come to the conclusion that Picasso was worth around $100 to $250 million. Besides his art, Picasso's heirs were vying for the rights to license his image rights. The family would then enter into a bitter legal battle over his estate from 1973 to 1979, and the case would close $30 million in legal fees just to settle. However, things wouldn't stay calm for long, as the heirs would soon begin to battle over the rights to Picasso's name and image. By the mid-90s, Claude Picasso would create Picasso's administration, which would manage the heirs' jointly owned property, control the rights to reproductions of Picasso's work, and authorize merchandising licenses for the artist's work, name, and image. At number 6, we have Michael Jackson. Although his will would later be discovered, it would be considered invalid by several of his family members. On the will, it would state that his attorney, John Branca, and music executive John McClain were named the executors of Jackson's estate. But Janet Jackson and the pop star's other siblings took the case to court and stated that the two had no claim to the estate. Michael's mom, Katherine Jackson, would then withdraw her petition and would ask to be put in charge of her son's estate. However, Michael would state in his will that his mother would become guardian of his children and their estates, and she would also become the beneficiary of a trust Michael set up for them. At number 5, we have Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse left behind an estate worth $4.66 million following her passing in 2011. Documents would show that the singer left behind assets totaling more than $6.7 million. However, only $4.66 million would remain after paying off her taxes. Since Amy didn't leave behind a will, the courts decided that her money would go to her parents. The documents shown later would also state that Amy's father, Mitch Winehouse, would be the administrator of the singer's estate, and that nothing would go to her ex-husband, Blake Fielder Civil, who she divorced in 2009. However, that wouldn't stop her ex-husband from attempting to take a grab at the late singer's money after he demanded a lump sum to be paid out as a monthly allowance 8 years later after her passing. Amy's family has since stated that they were appalled by his actions and that he has no rights to her estate. And at number 4, we have Prince. Following Prince's unexpected passing in 2016, his siblings would later come out to state that the singer did not have a legitimate will in place, and it would take 6 years just to sort out his $156 million estate. After court filings suggested that Prince's estate would be worth around $200 million, after a 6-year battle, the courts would state that Prince LLC would now be held by music publishing company Prime Wave after they bought out his 3 siblings. And the bank that was assigned by the court to administrate the estate affairs, Commercia Bank and Trust, was to get $3 million to pay for the cost and expenses associated with closing, and the leftover would be split between Prince Oat Holdings LLC and Prince Legacy LLC, which would consist of his 3 half-siblings. At number 3, we have Kurt Cobain. Just before Kurt Cobain's passing, he would state to his entertainment lawyer, Rosemary Carroll, that he wanted to divorce Courtney Love and take her out of his will, which would make Kurt's current will at the time invalid, and it would lead to legal battles between Courtney and his Nirvana bandmates. Now, most of Kurt's wealth would be inherited by Courtney and his daughter Frances after the courts made the decision that they were going to follow Kurt's original will. Courtney would then inherit only 2/3 of the inheritance after Frances was given 37% of Kurt's overall wealth. In 2006, Love would then go on to sell and publish the rights to Kurt's estate, which included 98% of the rights to Nirvana's music. When Frances turned 18, she then took control of her trust funds, and Courtney would sell her daughter the rights to Cobain's names and likeness for a reported $2.75 million from her trust fund. And at number 2, we have Chadwick Boseman. When Chadwick Boseman passed away in 2020, he didn't have a will in order by the time of his passing. Being worth $4 million at the time, he left behind plenty to be divided between his loved ones, and in October 2020, Chadwick's wife Taylor would request to be the administrator of his estate, however, she wanted limited authority. Chadwick's estate would have no disputes or conflicts between his remaining loved ones, which is relatively a positive outcome considering other families who have had members pass away without a will have been pretty negative. And at number 1 today we have Steve McNair. When NFL quarterback Steve McNair passed away, he would leave behind no will. Later, his wife Michelle McNair requested to become the administrator to the estate, and it would be granted by the courts. She would then have 60 days to file an inventory of her late husband's assets with the courts so that they could see his assets and how they would be split among the family. Michelle would then go on to list herself and the couple's 2 sons as heirs to the estate. She then listed the quarterback's other children elsewhere since the court had no immediate proof that the children were legally Steve McNair's. His estate would then be at least worth $90 million, and since under Tennessee law, Michelle was able to receive 40% of the asset, and then the rest would be split among the 2 legitimate children equally.
Starting off the countdown at number 10 is Dustin Diamond. Fans were recently devastated when they found out one of their favorite Saved by the Bell characters had passed away. The actor was best known for playing Samuel Powers on the show, also known as Screech. He suddenly passed away on February 1st, 2021 after a short battle with cancer. He was only 44 years old. His rep confirmed the actor's diagnosis with People magazine a month before and said that he had started chemotherapy for stage 4 cancer. He was diagnosed with small cell carcinoma? Oh, I said that right? Which is a cancer that commonly occurs in the lungs but can also grow in the prostate or gastrointestinal tract. His battle with cancer only lasted a few weeks because it spread so rapidly and viciously. Sadly, his rep confirmed that he had passed away but said that he did not suffer due to how quickly everything had happened. Fans are still very much in shock about this. Up next, number 9, we have Cicely Tyson. The Tony Award and Emmy-winning actress passed away on January 28th at the age of 96. She was in the entertainment industry for many years, ever since she made her debut in the 1956 movie Caribe Gold. She was famously known for her choice of roles, always portraying resilient and uplifting Black women. She earned awards for her starring roles in film and television over the years, even earning herself an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. In 2018, she actually became the first Black woman to receive an honorary Oscar, and then 2 years later, she was selected for the Peabody Career Achievement Award for her work on the stage, in film, and in television. Her memoir called Just As I Am was actually released just 2 days before her death. No cause of death has been stated at the time of this recording. Sliding into the number 8 spot is Soo Yoo-jung. The South Korean actress passed away on January 23rd at the young age of 26. Her passing was announced by Sublime Artist Agency on Instagram on January 24th, but her cause of death was not released. The agency did not immediately respond for media's request to comment either, so there still remains a lot of mystery around what really happened to her. Rumors have been flooding the internet with people alleging that she may have committed suicide, but again, that has not been confirmed. She rose to fame for her roles in TV shows like Make-A-Wish, School 2017, and Golden Rainbow. Outside of her acting career, she was also a model and an advocate for people with disabilities. Her fans are still very distraught by the news and are hoping that they get some answers soon on what really happened to her. Coming into number 7, we have Deezer D. The actor, who is best known for his role on the drama series ER, passed away on January 7th at just 55 years old. Fans loved him for his role as Nurse Malik McGrath on the medical series and were shocked to hear about his unexpected passing. His brother, Emery Thompson, actually announced his passing on his Instagram account. Reports say that Deezer was found unresponsive at his Los Angeles home on the morning of January 7th. According to TMZ, an official cause of death has not been determined. However, another brother of his actually leaked some information to a media outlet and said that they suspect he had a heart attack, but again, this has not been confirmed. Moving on to number 6, we have John Reilly. The actor lived a long, successful life, but sadly passed away at the age of 84 on January 10th. He rose to fame for his role on General Hospital and Beverly Hills 90210. His daughter, Caitlin Reilly, announced the news of her father's death on her Instagram, but his cause of death was not disclosed. Her tribute to him was very emotional and sweet, and she did reveal that she made it home in time to say goodbye and hold him, so we know that it wasn't totally sudden or unexpected in a sense. The actor was originally from Chicago and started acting in the 1960s with guest starring roles on Death Valley Days, Apple's Ways, and Gunsmoke. In 1984, his career moved forward and he starred in 6 episodes of Dallas, and then from there, he went on to portray Sean Donnelly on General Hospital for 11 years. Talk about a very successful role. Halfway through our list, at number 5, we have Ed Bruce. People refer to him as a country icon, and fans were devastated to read that he had passed on January 8th at the age of 81. He had many hit songs over the course of his decades-long career, like the all-time classic, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. He actually wrote the song with his then-wife, Patsy Bruce, and people quickly fell in love with it. In 1982, he released the single You're the Best Break This Old Heart Ever Had, featuring Lynn Anderson, which charted for 21 weeks and landed at number 1. That same year, he also co-starred in the TV series Brett Maverick. From there, he actually went on to appear in other fan favorite shows, so although his music career was a success, he also had a career in film. But his music is what people really know him by. He earned himself 35 Billboard spots, including 6 top 10 hits. In spot number 4, we have Peter Mark Richmond, another successful actor that had a very long and successful career. The news was announced that the actor died on January 14th at the age of 93, and the cause of death was stated as natural causes. Reports say he died of natural causes at his home in Woodland Hills, California. His rep confirmed this with People magazine. The actor has more than 130 television credits to his name, including his recurring role as Reverend Snow on Three's Company. After the news broke that he passed, his Three's Company co-star, Suzanne Summers, posted a statement and said, "Comedy is musical. Peter Mark Richmond and I understood the music from the very first time we appeared together on Three's Company. He knew his stuff. We lost a good one. Rest in peace, Peter Mark Richmond." Taking over the number 3 spot is Marion Ramsey. The Broadway and Police Academy actress passed away on January 7th at the age of 73. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she passed away at her home in Los Angeles. Her agency rep, Roger Paul Inc., released a statement and said, "The dimming of her light is already felt by those who know her well." She's best known for her performance as Officer Laverne Hooks in the Police Academy film franchise, beginning with the 1984 original and then several role reprisals. She was also known for being a longtime advocate for HIV and AIDS awareness and was very much loved for that. Outside of the film industry and advocacy, she was also known for her Broadway performances in shows like Hello Dolly and Little Shop of Horrors. Rolling into the number 2 spot is Harry Brandt. He was a socialite known for his own career, but also for being the son of supermodel Stephanie Seymour and magazine publisher Peter Brandt. His death was a very shocking tragedy for everyone, as he passed away on January 17th at the very young age of 24. His family revealed the news to New York Times and said the cause of death was an accidental overdose. The statement said, "We will forever be saddened that his life was cut short by this devastating disease. He achieved a lot in his 24 years, but we will never get the chance to see how much more Harry could have done." The disease that they are referring to is his addiction that reports say he was struggling with for many years. For anyone who may not know who he was an online influencer but also a model appearing in Italian Vogue campaigns. When he was a teenager, he also wrote for Interview magazine, which his father owned. And last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, we have Larry King. The news was shocking to everyone when the world found out that he had passed away on January 23rd at the age of 87. The beloved journalist and radio host passed away in Los Angeles just weeks after he was hospitalized with COVID-19 on January 2nd. He was in the industry for 63 years and succeeded across multiple platforms of radio, television, and digital media. He was known to the world as Larry King, but he was actually born as Harvey Zeger in 1993 in Brooklyn, New York. He changed his birth name in the late 1950s as he started his broadcasting career in Miami. In 1985, he launched his legendary cable TV show, Larry King Live, which became one of CNN's biggest programs. He earned a ton of awards throughout his career, including 2 Peabody Awards and inductions into the National Radio Hall of Fame and Broadcasters Hall of Fame. On top of that, he also is the author of several books. Very successful, to say the least, and very much missed. Taking our number 10 spot is DMX. The rapper's passing broke millions of hearts when it was announced on April 9th. His passing came just 1 week after suffering a heart attack at just 50 years old. His family revealed the sad news in a statement online and wrote, "Earl," which was his birth name, "was a warrior who fought till the very end. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever." Fans shared his music all over social media and flooded his accounts with loving messages. Over the course of his career, he released 15 songs that made it to the Billboard Hot 100 list, and outside of music, he also appeared in 15 films and many TV appearances. So to say he had a successful career would be very much an understatement. Up next, number 9, we have Nikki Graham. The Big Brother UK and Big Brother Canada star stole the hearts of everyone when appearing on the reality TV show. Everyone adored her bubbly and energetic personality and were devastated when they found out that she had passed at the young age of 38. The most difficult part about her passing was the reason. She had been struggling with a very long battle of anorexia and was seeking help at a private hospital when she passed away. Her career first took off when she appeared on Big Brother UK back in 2006, and then she went on to star in The Ultimate Big Brother in 2010, and then Big Brother Canada in 2016. Her close friend Duncan James recently opened up about her passing and said he begged her to eat when he saw her back in 2018, and that he didn't know how serious her battle really was. He didn't even know that she was in the hospital and said that he regrets not being able to say goodbye to her. A lot of people didn't know, including her fans, but she was always very open with her struggle, even writing an autobiography called Dying to Be Thin back in 2009. So she had been very open with her struggle, but when she was seeking treatment in the hospital recently, she didn't really tell many people. At number 8, we have Jahmil French. He was known for his role as Dave Turner on the hit TV series Degrassi: The Next Generation, and won the hearts of many, many people throughout his career. People were shocked when the news broke that he had suddenly passed away at the young age of 29. The cause of death was not revealed to the public, but co-stars flooded social media with tributes to the very talented star. He was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for his work in Degrassi, and he was a fan favorite and worked on the show from 2009 to 2013. I love that show. He also received a Canadian Screen Awards nomination for Best Supporting Actor in 2018, so he had a very successful career and a very bright future. Fans are wanting answers since his passing came very suddenly, but they still shared his tributes and condolences online, and nothing has been revealed about the cause. Next up at number 7 is Paul Ritter. The Tony-nominated actor, best known for his role in Chernobyl and Harry Potter, passed away just a few weeks ago at the age of 54. Reports announced the news and revealed he had passed away during one evening in his home after suffering from a brain tumor. He was surrounded by his wife and sons at the time of his passing and was said to have gone very peacefully. The actor was born in the United Kingdom but made a name for himself internationally in the Hollywood scene. His resume was packed with different opportunities. He starred in the British television series Friday Night Dinner, which ran from 2011 to 2020, and in 2009 he also received a Tony nomination for his lead role in the play The Norman Conquest, and he also appeared in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, so some younger generations might recognize him from there. And in more recent years, fans adored seeing him in the Chernobyl miniseries. In the number 6 spot is Trisha Noble. Her acting career was packed with incredible roles, but one of her most notable was her role in 2 Star Wars films. But that is not to say that she didn't have a wildly successful career outside of that role. She's actually known for being an Aussie actress and pop singer who got her start on the TV show Bandstand before she pursued a music career and then continued with more acting. She had several big hits along the way, but ended up turning her focus to acting and moved to the UK, where she starred in television series and even made appearances on the big screen. It was in the late 60s that she moved to the US and changed her name. Fun fact, she was actually born as Patsy Ann Noble, and then she changed it to Trisha. Sadly, she passed away on January 23rd, 2021 after suffering complications from a tumor caused by inhaled asbestos fibers. She passed away just 2 weeks shy of her 77th birthday. Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Adam Perkins. The Vine star that went viral and created a career for himself sadly passed away recently at the very young age of just 24. In 2015, he achieved fame for a 3-second video of him saying, "Hi, welcome to Chili's." Once his Vine exploded, he built a career as a performer and a musician, and fans were devastated to hear the news of his passing. Family members, friends, and fans went online to pay tribute to the star, and the Chili's restaurant also sent their condolences on Twitter. Chili's wrote, "We are saddened by the news of Adam Perkins' passing. He brought laughter to so many of us and will always be remembered and cherished. Rest in peace, Adam." His death was confirmed by his twin brother Patrick, who revealed the news that his cause of death will not be disclosed. Fans are upset by that, but hopefully they are respecting the family. Moving on to number 4, we have Roger Mudd. The longtime television journalist passed away at the age of 93, but fans agree that it was still too soon. He served as an anchor for CBS and NBC and passed away in March from kidney failure. He first began his journalism career in the 1950s and later made a name for himself when he joined CBS News. He spent 20 years covering the news for CBS Evening News, and in 1980, he left them to join their rival network, NBC. One of the interviews he is commonly remembered by is for his award-winning interview in 1979, which he conducted with then presidential candidate Senator Edward M. Kennedy. The news networks took it to social media to pay their tributes and also announce their condolences. No bad blood between those two rival networks. They both got a taste of the legend. That's a plus for all of them. In our 3rd spot is Jessica Walter. The Arrested Development actress lived a long life and passed at the age of 80 last month in March 2021. She was an award-winning actress whose career spanned over 6 decades. With a resume full of roles and award nominations, the one that people mainly remember her for was her performance as Lucille Bluth in Arrested Development. She earned an Emmy nomination and 2 SAG nominations for her performance. When she was off the big screen, she also served as the 2nd National Vice President of the Screen Actors Guild and was elected member of the SAG Board of Directors for over a decade. After the news broke of her passing, former co-stars and fans began sharing their memories online and paying tribute to her. And honestly, after I read some of them, people have nothing but amazing things to say. They were so heartfelt. They were so sweet. She sounded amazing. Taking over the number 2 spot is Helen McRory. The news came very recently, just a few days ago, and shocked everyone when it was revealed that the Peaky Blinders actress had passed away from cancer. Reports shared that she swore her friends to secrecy as she underwent treatment because she didn't want her professional or charitable work to be overshadowed by her illness. Her friend Carrie Cracknell did a radio tribute and spoke about it. Helen's husband, Damian Lewis, also announced the news that she had passed away peacefully at home at the age of 52 on his social media. She was best known for playing Polly in Peaky Blinders, as well as appearing in the Harry Potter franchise and The Special Relationship. And if I'm being honest, people are still in a lot of shock about this news because no one really knew what was going on. They didn't know the severity of her illness or that she was seeking treatment, because she wanted to keep it quiet in her final weeks. In our 1st place spot is none other than Prince Philip. For more than 7 decades, he took on the supporting role of his wife, Queen Elizabeth II, as she carried out her tribute as monarch. He was by her side throughout it all, quite literally, including every one of her 271 trips abroad. One thing the rest of the royal family praises him for was that he never took the limelight and never overstepped the mark. He was always just there to love and support her. He lived a very long, fulfilling life and passed away at the age of 99 after he spent 4 weeks in the hospital being treated for an infection and a heart condition. The Queen and Prince Philip got married in 1947 and have been together ever since, so the loss has tremendously affected her. With all the press and the chaos, obviously, she has had a very difficult time speaking on the loss of her husband, but one thing she did say was, I quote, "He has been my strength all these years." Their relationship is like goals. It is so heartbreaking because they were so in love for so long.
At number 10, Robert Downey Sr. Robert Downey Sr., father of Marvel actor Robert Downey Jr., passed away peacefully in his sleep on July 7, 2021 after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. Downey Sr. was a pioneer of the underground film scene in New York City in the 1960s. His first big film, Putney Swope, was what put him on the map, and from then on he became a legend in the film industry both as an actor and director. His success continued into the 70s 70s and 80s as he worked on projects like The Twilight Zone, Matlock, To Live and Die in LA, Boogie Nights, and Magnolia. Other than growing his own success, he grew the success of others, most notably his son, who began acting alongside him in the early days of his own career. Robert Jr. released a statement informing the world of his father's passing on Instagram, where he said, quote, "Last night, Dad passed peacefully in his sleep after years of enduring the ravages of Parkinson's. He was a true maverick filmmaker and remained remarkably optimistic throughout. According to my stepmom's calculations, they were happily married for just over 2,000 years. Rosemary Rogers Downey, you are a saint and our thoughts and prayers are with you." End quote. At number 9, Kevin Clark. Fans of the 2003 movie School of Rock were devastated to hear about the sudden passing of one of the film's stars, Kevin Clark. Kevin, who played the character Freddie Jones, aka Spazzy McGee, passed away on May 26 of this year at the age of only 32 years old after being involved in a tragic accident. According to reports, Kevin was riding his bike in a Chicago neighborhood in the early hours of the morning when he was struck by a vehicle. The actor was rushed to hospital, but sadly he did not make it. Kevin's death hit his family very hard because it was so sudden and unexpected, and because he reportedly just got into a good place in his life. When speaking out about Kevin's passing, his mother told sources, quote, "He told his bandmates just yesterday, you know, this is finally the life I want to live, and we're going to make it. You're my musical family, my family, and we're going to make it." End quote. Kevin had just started a new band and they performed for the first time on the weekend before he passed. Before this band, he was known for forming other musical groups and writing songs and teaching kids about music. His love for music and drumming skills are actually what led him to getting the role in School of Rock, even though he had no prior acting experience. Kevin was an incredibly talented man who is certainly gone too soon. Before I carry on with the list, I would like to ask you guys to leave a comment down below sending a positive message for the families of those on this list. Losing a loved one is never easy, so let's send them some positive energy their way. At number 8, Sophie. Grammy-nominated pop artist Sophie passed away suddenly at the age of 34 following an accident in Athens, Greece. A trans icon and progressive musician, Sophie was known as a visionary, some calling her a quote, pioneer of new sound and one of the most influential artists in the last decade. Sophie's debut album, Oil for Every Pearls on Insides, released in 2018, was nominated for a Grammy for Best Dance/Electronic Album. The news of Sophie's sudden passing shocked many of their fans as well as other celebrities, with many of them saying that Sophie was gone too soon. The artist will be remembered for their progressive music and sound and their groundbreaking individuality. At number 7, Cicely Tyson. After having a career that spanned over 7 decades, renowned actress Cicely Tyson passed away on January 28, 2021 at the age of 96. Known for her portrayal of strong black women, Cicely became a beloved Hollywood icon through her work as an actress, model, and author. At the beginning of 2021, Cicely published a memoir titled Just As I Am, where she shared the story of her life, how she became who she was, and how she was a pioneering force in shaping history. Cicely started her public career as a model, later moving over to Broadway where she acted alongside James Earl Jones and Louis Gossett. In the 60s, Cicely launched herself into a hugely successful TV and movie career where she made a point of prioritizing roles that, quote, showed the full lived experiences of Black Americans. Tyson continued her career into the 70s where she starred in the hugely successful series Roots and later starring in modern shows like How to Get Away with Murder. Other than her film and TV awards and nominations, Cicely also became a Kennedy Center honoree and was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama in 2016. Cicely leaves behind an incredible legacy, making her a good role model for a lot of young Black kids everywhere. At number 6, Samuel E. Wright. Though some of you may struggle to recall the name, you no doubt know the voice of Samuel E. Wright, best known for playing Sebastian the Crab in the Disney animated film The Little Mermaid. Samuel wasn't just known for his Disney role, however, as some may know him from playing Dizzy Gillespie in Clint Eastwood's Bird, as well as his role in the series of Fruit of the Loom commercials. Samuel began his career on Broadway, making his debut in Jesus Christ Superstar in 1971, and later going on to play Mufasa in The Lion King on Broadway in 1997. As I mentioned, his best known role is for playing Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, and this role is what brought him the most success. He performed the songs Under the Sea, which won an Oscar for Best Original Song, and Kiss the Girl in the film. Samuel would later go on to talk about his desire to be successful in Hollywood, where he said, quote, maybe not every actor would say this, but if I didn't want to be immortal, I wouldn't be acting. I do want to make my little mark on the world. An actor's worst nightmare is to hear, 10 years from now, Sam Wright? Who was Sam Wright? If you have that kind of attitude, you tend to take each role and make it the best role you've done. End quote. Samuel passed away on May 24th, 2021 at the age of 74 after a 3-year battle with prostate cancer. At number 5, Helen McCrory. Known best for her role as Narcissa Malfoy in the Harry Potter films, actress Helen McCrory sadly passed away on April 16th, 2021 at the age of 52 after a battle with cancer. The actress first began her acting career by performing at London's West End before jumping into the film and television industry, where she would later go on to star in productions like Harry Potter, of course, as well as Peaky Blinders, The Queen, The Interview with the Vampire, and Casanova. Upon her passing, Helen's husband released a statement which read, quote, "I'm heartbroken to announce that after a heroic battle with cancer, the beautiful and mighty woman that is Helen McCrory has died peacefully in her home, surrounded by a wave of love from friends and family. She died as she lived, fearlessly. God, we love her and know how lucky we are to have had her in our lives. She blazed so brightly. Go now, little one, into the air and thank you." End quote. Helen leaves behind her husband Damian Lewis as well as their 2 children. At number 4, Larry King. On January 23, 2021, legendary TV broadcaster Larry King passed away at the age of 87. The Emmy-winning host passed away at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA after it was revealed that he had been battling COVID-19 for 10 days prior. Larry had a long and successful career that spanned over 6 decades, having interviewed everyone from Martin Luther King Jr. to Vladimir Putin. His show Larry King Live became the longest-running show on CNN, spanning from 1985 to 2010, and even after that, Larry kept working, interviewing, and listening to stories from so many people from all sides and all walks of life. After his passing, a statement was released which celebrated his life and legacy, with part of it saying, quote, "For 63 years and across platforms of radio, television, and digital media, Larry's many thousands of interviews, awards, and global acclaim stand as a testament to his unique and lasting talent as a broadcaster." End quote. Upon the news of his passing, messages of condolences came pouring in from many celebrities who ever had the chance to sit down with him, showing how respected he was and how he will be missed. At number 3, Dustin Diamond. Fans of the hit 90s show Saved by the Bell were heartbroken after learning about the passing of actor Dustin Diamond, who played Samuel Powers, aka Screech, on the show during its run between 1989 and 1992. Dustin, who was only 44 years old at the time of his passing, lost his battle with stage 4 lung cancer on February 1st, 2021. Fans learned of Dustin's cancer diagnosis just 3 weeks before the actor passed away. After his death, Dustin's representative issued a statement where they said, quote, "He was diagnosed with this brutal, relentless form of malignant cancer only 3 weeks ago. In that time, it managed to spread rapidly through his system. The only mercy it exhibited was its sharp and swift execution. Dustin did not suffer. He did not have to lie submerged in pain. For that, we are grateful." End quote. The source also said that Dustin passed with his girlfriend by his side and was surrounded by love. At number 2, DMX. On April 9th, 2021, legendary rapper DMX passed away, leaving fans and the world of music devastated. DMX, known for such hits as Get Me a Dog and X Gon' Give It To Ya, passed away after suffering a major heart attack following a substance overdose. The rapper was rushed to a hospital on April 2nd and stayed in critical care while his fans set up a prayer vigil outside of his hospital until his passing about a week later. DMX, who was 50 at the time of his death, made huge waves in Hollywood and the music industry. He rose to fame in the late 90s, and his 1999 album, And Then There Was X, went 5 times platinum, and he even was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album in 2001. Upon his passing, DMX's family released a statement saying that he was a, quote, "warrior who fought to the very end," end quote. The statement also said, quote, "He loved his family with all his heart and cherished the time we spent with him. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever. We appreciate all the love and support during this incredibly difficult time." End quote. And finally, at number 1, Prince Philip. Also on April 9th of this year, the world lost the longest-serving British consort in history, His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, at the age of 99. Shortly before his passing, Prince Philip was admitted to St. Bartholomew's Hospital where he underwent cardiac treatment. Prince Philip was born the Prince of Greece and Denmark on the Greek island of Corfu in 1921, but when he was 18 months old, his family left the country due to political instability, and his uncle Constantine was forced to abdicate as the country's king. Years after first meeting as children in 1934, Prince Philip and Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II married shortly after the end of World War II, where Prince Philip served in the British Royal Navy. By 2009, he had become the longest-serving British consort and continued to stand by the Queen's side until his passing. Prince Philip officially retired from royal duties in 2017 at the age of 95, and once joked that, quote, he couldn't imagine anything worse than reaching the age of 100. His family said that Prince Philip's sense of humor was the best part about him, so the 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren he's left behind remember him fondly.